Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this September 15 regular meeting. Bienvenue à cette réunion régulière du 15 septembre. Before starting, I want to ask you, the public, if you please don't do any talking during the meeting, and put your cell phone on mute or close it, please. And be respectful for this meeting. S'il vous plaît, fermez vos cellulaires puis pas de parlage durant la réunion. Aussi, à la fin de la réunion, on va avoir vous allez avoir des périodes de questions concernant l'agenda seulement. At the end of the meeting, will be a question period and concerning on the agenda only. Yeah, it is on. Yep. It's going to be on also for the question period. Okay. So we'll start by the territory land acknowledged. I'll ask Councillor Pelletier to do it.
We would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we live is the traditional unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. The Mayor, Council, and staff of Heron Bay acknowledge and pay respect to the elders and descendants, past and present, of this land. We welcome you all today as we strive to develop closer relationships with the Indigenous people in our community.
Thank you. I'll ask Councillor Good to do the one in French.
Nous voulons d'abord reconnaître que le territoire sur lequel nous vivons est une terre non cédée du peuple Mi'kmaq. Le maire, le conseil et le personnel de Baie des Hérons reconnaissent et respectent les aînés et les descendants passés et présents de cette terre. Nous vous souhaitons la bienvenue à tous aujourd'hui, alors que nous nous efforçons de développer des relations plus étroites avec les membres de notre communauté.
Merci, Councillor Good.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Mayor. I don't believe the sound may not be working. Someone had just notified me. Could we just double check?
Make sure all your mic is on.
Test. Okay, it's good now. Thank you.
Okay,
Just wanted
thank
to be
you.
sure. Thanks.
Approval of the agenda. We need a motion. J'aurais besoin d'une motion pour l'adoption de l'ordre du jour. Proposé par le conseiller Jean-Robert Haché. Est-ce qu'on y a secondé par le conseiller Lee Walsh? Question? Tout le monde en faveur d'être oui?
Oui.
Contre non? C'est adopté. Approval of the minute of the August 18, 2025. So you all had a chance to read those minutes. I will need a motion. It's moved by Councillor Sortin. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councillor Pelletier. Question. Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against nay. Motion is carried. Conflict of interest, if there's any, you have to declare it now. No. Petition, delegation, presentation, we don't have any tonight. Statement by member. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Well, I actually see that Brian's here tonight. I think I seen him walk in. So I did want to take a minute to congratulate a few residents in Heron Bay for some successful celebrations over the last few weeks. So to start with Labor Day, Brian worked super hard. It was a pleasure to be on his team. It was a great weekend, jam-packed. I think I'm still exhausted from it, Brian. So thanks for that. It's been a hard week getting back into the swing of things at work, but there's a lot of volunteers here tonight that are here. My ma tante France and Anne, and so thank you so much for everybody who helped out. But a huge thank you to Brian and Ty. Ty's here too, so just a big thank you, Brian, for putting so much of your heart and time into the weekend. I know that it's all about the kids, and you make that very, very obvious, and it's a lot of fun, and I can't wait until next year. So thank you and congratulations. And secondly, would be our Charlotte Fall Fair Festival was another great success. So congratulations to President Lisa Terrio and her committee members. I know that there's as Councillor Good Cormier, Councillor Chartrand is on the committee, and I think there's other committee members here tonight as well. So a big congratulations and a thank you. I didn't get to go out to as many events as I would have liked to. It was a busy weekend celebrating my daughter's birthday at home, so that's always a big deal in our house. But what I did see and what I did participate in was great. So, I mean, volunteering is sometimes a thankless job, and volunteers are so needed. And I think what makes volunteering great is when you have a good team. So like I said about Brian, working with people that make it fun and take the stress away. It doesn't really feel like a job, and it just makes it a really good time. And I hear that Lisa and her team works the same way. So I definitely encourage anyone to get out there and volunteer. It's really fulfilling, and it feels good to be a part of something. So again, congratulations to Lisa Theriault and her team for a successful Charlotte Fall Fair.
Anything else, Lisa?
That's all for me. Thank you.
Ken?
Oh, thank you, Lisa, for that. I also want to just do a quick shout out to all the public works staff and all the staff for the town of Huron Bay that have worked on both the committees. Without you guys, there's no way we could get it done. It was just amazing. Every time we asked you to do something out of the ordinary, something new, something changed, you guys just jumped right to it and did it. So I want to send a big shout out to the public works staff of the town of Huron Bay for doing such a great job. Thank you.
Any other councillor that want to do a statement? You're okay? Yeah. Good. Okay, I'll just say my mayor report. Le 21 août, on a eu une cérémonie pour Madame Marlène Boissonneau à l'Arena ici à Dalhousie. So we had a ceremony for Marlène Boissonneau, who was with the feminine Canadian team. We also had a meeting. I also had a meeting with the commission during that evening. The 22nd, I have a meeting with the executive committee of the UMNB, une rencontre avec le comité exécutif de l'Union des municipalités du Nouveau-Brunswick. Le 27, j'ai une réunion du comité de Salbard, la conclusion de l'événement. So, you know, we had a big party this summer on the 15th, and it was a success, I must say. So, we had just a wrap-up meeting on that. The 28th, réunion de la commission régionale Restigouche avec notre député fédéral, M. Guillaume Deschênes-Thériault. We had a meeting at the commission, Restigouche Commission, Service Commission, with our federal MP, Mr. Guillaume Deschênes-Thériault. On the 28th, a meeting with all the mayor of Restigouche. On the 29th, there was the opening of la Fête du Travail. Thank you, Brian. Success. Real nice weekend. September 5th, open of the Charlotte Fall Fair. And I want to thank the citizen of the year, Mr. Marc Landry. C'est le 5 septembre, c'était l'ouverture de la fête au village de Charlotte. Et notre citoyen de l'année de section Charlotte était M. Marc Landry. September 8th, we had a good presentation in Atholville on the demographic population in Restigouche. And was very interesting. One thing that spot me that I got there is the average age in Restigouche now is 59 years old, and in New Brunswick is 52. So we're very aging more. And now we have numbers. We can go lobby the government. We need more help. The reason is, you see the numbers is, so it's a good tool for us, all the mayor and the commission. On September 8, we had a meeting with le airport committee. On a eu une rencontre avec la réunion avec le comité de l'aéroport. September 10, réunion avec la commission régionale, puis un barbecue avec les nouveaux membres du comité de multiculturel au collège communautaire. So we had a barbecue with all the newcomers from multiculturel in CCNB. It was a great success too. They really enjoyed that. We did a lot of hot dog and hamburger. On the 12th, we had a meeting at the Port Balloon. It's a new project over there that's looking very good. And this meeting here tonight. Well, that's it for my report. Moving on to le rapport et recommandations des comités de réunion à huis clos, report and recommendation from committees and private meeting. We'll start with protective services. Lisa?
Sure. So it was definitely a busy month of August for the Dalhousie section of Heron Bay. Just to bring up some of the calls, house fires, vehicle accidents. There were multiple ambulance assist calls, some different fires on the beach, a vehicle accident with a deer. It was definitely a very, very busy month. The ambulance assist, there was 5 different ambulance assist calls. So very, very busy month for the Dalhousie section. Any questions about the Dalhousie section? And then they started their fire practices on September 2nd. So this time of year, that's when they always start their practices, and a lot of training will be taking place soon. I think that's always something that's really great with the fire departments. Every month when we have a report, we always see that there's new training happening. So I think that's something that we could definitely be proud of, that the members are really well trained. There's always new training. Whenever something comes up, we definitely prioritize that for them to get the best training that they need. So that's definitely something important that I know will continue. Both chiefs take that very seriously. For Charlotte, again, they were quite busy as well. They responded to 14 calls, some structure fires, 4 water rescues, 4 motor vehicle accidents. And one thing that I'd like to note is that there was a crew of 3 men that were deployed to help with the Miramichi wildfire. So they were there for 3 days. They were called in from DNR. So that's great that there was some of our men that were able to go and help there in Miramichi. And I guess it was quite the experience. They obviously got firsthand experience that you don't really want to get, but they definitely would have learned a lot from that experience as well. So a big thank you to them for going out there. Again, for the Charlotte sector as well, throughout August, there was continued training. They continued to train with the Pumper 6 and Engine 1. A lot of maintaining of equipment and cleaning of equipment, inspections done. And then they also received some training for the emergency vehicle driver training. They received the manuals for the training that's going to be scheduled this fall. They received some new equipment. A new fire hose was received. There's a back order of the remaining medical response bag items that they need, and the defibrillator was received. Then for August 15th, the fire department was involved for the concert. So they were there to attend the barricades, so that was a huge help. And they also had a 3-man crew on standby that evening just in case there were any emergencies that took place. So definitely busy in the fire safety department. And I'd like to share a little side note, a PSA, I guess I would call it. I posted the PSA to Facebook, but Facebook deemed it as unsafe, so they removed my post, which was interesting because it was actually a PSA to share safety information. But anyhow, a PSA to clean your fire vents, because your dryer vents. So if anyone's seen my post before it was deleted, our dryer has not been working well, and we've been having to put our clothes on 2 or 3 times, and it's obviously we knew something was up. So to make a long and dramatic and many spiders involved story short, we did clean out our our dryer vent, and we were shocked at how much lint was there. So it was a very, very eye-opening experience for us. For us, it was out of sight, out of mind, because our dryer vent is under our deck. So we had to remove some of the deck to get to it, but I really thought it was important tonight. On a personal note, please clean your dryer vents, because they say it's one of the leading causes of house fires. And when I seen ours, it was eye-opening. So just a little PSA for that. SPCA, it's been a quiet month actually. Deputy Mayor McIntyre and I were saying it was quieter than normal. Just a few minor complaints for the SPCA, but otherwise pretty quiet month for that. Are there any questions?
Yes,
Sure.
can you just underline that for August the 15th, le 15 août, we had a good cooperation with the firefighters, but what I like to underline is the mutual aid. Like, you know, we had Dalhousie, Eel River, Balmoral, and Bildun cooperate together.
Oh, okay, so all of the, all of
It was
them.
nice to see this
Right.
cooperation, this regional cooperation.
Yes, so they all work together for the August 15th.
Just wanted to
Yes, good
mention
point.
that.
Thank you. Any other questions?
You want to move your report?
Yes, so I move to accept the protective services.
Okay, I guess we don't need it.
Pardon me?
No, we don't need to move those reports.
Oh, okay. I'm not. I do. I am gonna. I'm not finished though. Can I keep going?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, no other questions though? So one thing that I did want to bring up under protective services, we have a major problem in Heron Bay. There's a major problem with the reckless driving, dangerous driving, excessive noise. This is a major, this is a public safety concern. And I've been one of the counselors that have been saying, call our CMP, keep calling. This is not helping right now. This is not the solution. I shouldn't say it's not helping. It is helping us build a case. The more calls we get, the better. But this is not enough. On September 5th, I'm sure many of you heard, there was a huge, I guess they called it like a party, like a burnout party that took place on September 5th.
Who said that?
I'll continue.
Please, no talking, I ask, during a meeting.
You weren't here when the mayor addressed the crowd, but when the meeting first started, the mayor asked for respectful language as well as no interruptions. So I think you came in late, so you may not have heard that. So do you want to remind them, Mr. Mayor, since they came in late?
No talking, and please put your cell phone on mute for tonight, for the meeting. Thanks.
Perfect, thank you. So there are people that live very close to these areas where these parties take place, and they were scared. They were scared on September 5th, and to hear that type of noise is scary. And there's some seniors that live in that building. There's some people that are actually considering whether or not they want to buy homes in this town because of the excessive noise and the reckless driving. And the thing is, we have some tools in our toolbox, as one resident pointed out, which I agreed with him. And we do have a bylaw, and I'll bring it up just so that we can kind of all discuss it. So one of the bylaws that we currently have, bylaw number 2024-02, a bylaw preventing nuisance and excessive noise in the town of Heron Bay. So if you don't mind me taking a moment to read it. Whereas the enactment of this bylaw repeals the following. I suppose I don't have to read that part. Point A says no person may make noise likely to cause a public nuisance or otherwise disturb the inhabitants of the town of Heron Bay between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. So whenever these parties are happening, this is very, very much a nuisance. It's very much noise disruption. And from different residents that were sharing with me, specifically on September 5th, we know that these things are happening. There's many dates that we can list here. I'm specifying September 5th. But on September 5th, this lasted for hours. Some people have told me it went on 5 or 6 hours. Unfortunately, that evening, there was another very, very serious accident elsewhere that was very serious and ended tragically. So the police were very busy with that accident. So that explains, partially why they didn't respond. But residents did call on September 5th over and over again, is what I was told. And the RCMP didn't respond, didn't show up. If anybody's seen the aftermath for the next day, you can see all of the markings on the road. You can see the rubber from the tires. It was a mess. So to see that afterwards, it must have been quite the situation at the time. So I really think as a council, we need to have a serious discussion what the solution is going to be, because continuing to just tell people to call our CMP, which I agree that we need to keep doing, it's obviously not enough. We're going to be meeting on October 9th with the Minister of Public Safety. All of the mayors of the area and the Regional Service Commission will be meeting with the minister to be able to share concerns about public safety, policing, basically what our concerns are for crime in the area. So obviously that's something that we're going to take that opportunity extremely seriously. We already discussed that we'll, kind of have a game plan that night to go in with our questions, know what we really, really want to drive home on what our concerns are. But I don't know what the solution is, but we definitely need to do something, and we need to do something quickly here because someone is going to get hurt. Someone's going to end up getting killed. People are fed up, and I absolutely don't blame people for being fed up. So what I would like to suggest, and I'm asking if the clerk could investigate for now, I guess in the meantime, if the clerk can investigate what the pricing of cameras would be. So I was doing a little bit of research, and I know that in some municipalities they do have cameras on some of the main areas. Yeah, the main streets, I guess, where this crime is taking place. Will this be a solution? I don't know. Do I think that it's worth looking into? Absolutely. It will most likely be a price tag, but I really don't think that right now, I don't think that that's something that we should even worry about with the price. I think that we need to look to see what our options are, what kind of cameras could we install that won't be destroyed, where the best places that we can put them. But that's definitely something in the meantime while we're trying to figure out what the solution is. We know that policing, we know that the lack of police presence is an issue, but we also know that that's a provincial issue. And it's really not something that the Mayor and Council of Heron Bay can fight on our own. It's a bigger picture here, and I'm not saying that I don't want to have that fight, because I definitely want to take this meeting on October 9th very, very seriously and take advantage of that time with the Minister of Public Safety. But in the meantime, I'd like to know your thoughts. Like, what does council think on the possibility of installing some cameras? At least then, whenever we're calling our CMP, and if they're not getting there in time, maybe they can catch license plates. Maybe it'll kind of, hopefully motivate some of these parties to not take place if they know they're going to be on camera. I'm not sure, but I feel like we need to do something now, and that's the only thing that I could think of right now to maybe just slow things down a little bit. I don't think it's going to solve it right away. It's not a perfect solution, but I think it's somewhere to start. So I'd just like to know what everyone's thoughts are on the possibility of cameras.
I think it's a good idea with the cameras. Je trouve que c'est une bonne idée. Sauf que faudrait continuer à encourager les gens à appeler. Keep on calling, like what they say in English, the wheel that squeaks gets the grease. Well, I mean, you got to call, but it's recorded. Every call is recorded that somebody called. And eventually, ça va faire l'effet. To me, it's...
Yeah, and I agree that we should keep calling, but I also agree that is not working. Because it's not... Because people are calling, and the reason why I'm saying that, I mean, when Deputy Mayor McIntyre and I sat down with the RCMP officer, that was probably about 2 months ago now, mm-hmm. Like, he said to us that he told us himself, we are not getting many reports. But then I'm hearing from residents, we are calling. So I'm torn as to where my mind is going with that. So I absolutely... I agree with you, Councillor Hache. I would love for people to keep calling. Yeah. However, we can't wait until they finally say, okay, let's finally check out these calls. Like, we need to do something yesterday.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we're not going to do anything, mm-hmm. But just keep on going at it. And then the fact of having cameras is a good idea.
Good, yeah.
We can take a look at that.
And also, what is the law? Yeah. Because the law seems to be that they have to be right there, seeing the gentleman, whether it's Tom, Dick, or whoever, behind the wheel, doing the infractions. Mm. So, I mean, they can show up and they all park their cars. Mm-hmm. No proof.
And
So
that's where I think,
where is the law?
yeah, and that's where I think the cameras will hopefully help us, because by the time they do, from experience, there was a time that I called RCMP for a reckless situation that was involving a youth, and I was very concerned. By the time they came, of course, the situation was gone, was finished. So hopefully with the cameras, like you said, Lee, Councillor Walsh, when they're getting there, usually it's
That's
done.
right.
So hopefully the
Everybody
cameras,
disappears
will hopefully catch something.
Yeah.
And to go back to the bylaw, I kind of got sidetracked there, but in the bylaw where it says the noise, and then it keeps on going too. It says here, no person shall shout, yell, blow horns, encourage fighting or quarreling, make unnecessary or unusual noise or disturbances. And it goes on and on and on. So the thing is, we do have this bylaw, and then when it comes to enforcement and penalties, it says any person who violates any other provision of this bylaw is guilty of an offense and liable on conviction of a minimum fine of $100, maximum fine of $1,070. So this is something that I'm going to discuss with the bylaw officer when myself, the clerk, and her meet in the near future. But if this is something that we have, if we have cameras and if we have proof of so-and-so causing this disturbance, will that be enough that we'll be able to give a fine? Because if we're starting to give out fines of $1,070 when we're violating this bylaw, which is happening on the weekend, almost on the nightly, and really I think it's starting like on the Thursday night, if we're starting to give out fines, people are not going to want to keep dishing out $1,000. But it's being able to catch them in the act, like Lee said. Yeah. So if everyone agrees, go ahead. Sorry.
I just want to add to this that camera idea is really good. However, I think that when we do get a quote or have a consultant come in or somebody that comes in and look at it, these cameras need to be either mobile or be able to be installed by our own staff. Let's be honest, when they had red light cameras, remember those days when they'd have red light cameras, or they'd put them up on a pole, and within 15 minutes after it was on the pole, everybody in town knew where it was. And they just wouldn't drive fast there. So I would suggest that if we get a report, the cameras would not only be put in the town, but they also be mobile, so we can move them around the town if we need be, because they're going to spot them in one night, and the very next night they're going to say, well, we're not going to drive here because we know we're going to get caught, so we're just going to move to a different part of town. And that's just unacceptable. And to add this, it's not just in town, just to let you know. You just have to drive down by my house and you can see some pretty serious patching on the road right in front of my home and just down the road a little bit, all the way down to Benjamin River. So this is not just an isolated case in this town, downtown Dalhousie. It's everywhere in Heron Bay. So that would be my recommendation on a report or some sort of consultant to come in. But I think we should ask this to be done really quickly and to be able to discuss this at the next meeting, because it's really, you're right, Councillor.
And that's
it's
why
really
I had mentioned, I know there'll be a price tag associated with it, because there's going to be multiple locations where we're going to have to install these cameras. So, right, when I was doing my research, I did see that a lot of those cameras were the ones that you could move, the mobile ones. So, because like you said, they're going to move the party elsewhere. But if we have many cameras, hopefully we'll be able to, catch some people in the act on the camera, give some fines out, have some proof for the RCMP. So my goal is to speak to the bylaw officer to see how we can move forward with the fines and what type of proof we need to be able to give a fine. If everyone agrees to research the price, we may need to have a consultant come in to see what areas would be best to install them. I'm sure RCMP would be able to share their opinions as well, as to see how they think that this should all play out.
Well, how would it play out in the court of law?
Exactly.
We need to know what the rules are to the
Right.
game, because you can have all the cameras you want, and if it doesn't get the person behind that wheel
Right.
or the license plate,
Maybe, Lisa,
You know?
when we met the RCMP, they told us they're working on changing that law.
Yes, they were taught. You're right, Deputy Mayor McIntyre. RCMP, when we did meet with them, there used to be a lot of really stingent laws where it was even if you had a license plate and a name, they still couldn't kind of link the person. But they're in the process of changing that law where they're going to be able to have more ability that if they see a driver with this license plate, even if they're not catching them in the immediate act, they're going to be able to kind of to press charges. So there's some law changes in the works in that world, so that'll hopefully benefit us.
There's just one more thing I want to add to that. I'm not sure when that bylaw, that prices were written in that bylaw when it was actually done, but I think that's pretty archaic. I think that if we're going to be put some teeth to this, I think that we should be also looking at changing the amounts inside the bylaw.
It was 2024 was the last time that it was signed.
Well, I think that should go up quite a bit because let's be honest, if you get a whole bunch of parties and one guy gets a ticket, if it's only $100, all his buddies are going to chip in about $10 and that'll be it. I think
maximum fine is $1,070.
Well, we should be. I think the minimum one should be a lot higher. The minimum one should go up quite a bit, and maximum can maybe stay the same. But let's make it so the point where they're going to be really concerned and worried about getting caught and getting charged. If it's up to like $500 or more, then it's really going to have some sort of bite to it.
Yeah.
So maybe we can look at that.
Yeah, we can, and really, I think you made a good point, Councillor Walsh. We have to see too, like how this is going to be policed, because if we change the bylaw to change the fine amount,
Right.
but we're still going to kind of have our hands tied whether or not we could actually hand out these fines. So
'Cause then the law is not the law, right?
yeah, we'll have to work with the bylaw officer to kind of
What-
and the
Yeah.
province to
What
see.
happens with that,
Yeah.
Lisa? I just want to add this. In a lot of situations now, if you don't have them, like a picture of them behind the wheel, we have a hard time. They have a hard time to process it because they have to prove that they were the ones that were driving.
Right, and that's
And
why
I-
the cameras.
And I totally agree with cameras because
Mhm.
we have to do something before somebody gets killed. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we all in agreement that we'd like
so you're
the
gonna
clerk
meet-
to
you're
investigate
gonna
that?
meet,
Yeah.
Lisa, Councillor Pelletier, with the bylaw officer, with Lillian.
Yes, I'll talk more on my bylaw report, but we are going to be making a meeting, so we'll add that to our agenda of things to discuss for
Right.
sure. I mean, it's gotten to the point now where not only is this absolutely frustrating for residents, it's a public safety
Oh, big
concern.
time.
So I'm really, really happy when I seen the email that we're going to be meeting with the Minister of Public Safety on the 9th. We really have to take advantage of that meeting to really get our point across. And I really want to make a point too. I am thankful for the RCMP. I'm not blaming them because they are stretched so thin that it's not our local RCMP's fault that they can't get to where they want to go. Because when we spoke to the officer that night, he was very, very empathetic and sympathetic and was like, we want to help, but when there's one patrol car on shift that has to cover way past Hamilton all the way down, like he could only be at one place at one time. So I just want to make it clear, I'm absolutely not knocking the RCMP because I appreciate the work that they're doing, but like I said, this is a much bigger issue than them. They're stretched so thin for all of the reasons that the province is giving us. So just wanted to make that clear that I definitely do appreciate the RCMP for what they are doing, but we need a solution. So I'm glad that we agree that we'll investigate the camera. Like I said, this may not be a solution, but in the meantime, hopefully it's something.
That's it for your report, Councillor Pelletier.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on with public work, Ken. Councillor Chartrand.
Thank you. Town of Huron Bay, the Tahousey section, monthly report for August 2025. The Transportation Department, street sweeper, cleaning the streets, patching, Godrich, AQV Hill, DRHS Hill, Quarry, Sampson, Millview, Peterson, Turgeon, Elaine, King, Vanier, Charles, Fatur, McKay, Gray, Potter. They paved the water cut on the DRH Hill. They paved the water cut at Cameron Street. They paved sidewalk on Duke Street. They trimmed bushes on Renfrew Street. They fixed the guardrail at the AQV Hill. They helped with the traffic control for the concert, and they helped with Labor Day activities. The Utility Department performed checks at the water treatment plant, wastewater stations on a daily basis, upgrading communications at the water treatment plant, installed a new valve at the DRHS Hill, installed new water and sewer services at 543 Chaleur, replaced curb stop at 611 Victoria, fixed a ditch pipe on the thermal lane, fixed collapsed sanitary and playground next to the Lions Canteen, fixed collapsed catch basin at 516 Cameron, fixed the catch basin at 542 Montgomery Street, replaced leaking curb stop at 516 Montgomery, fixed curb boxes and sidewalk at Duke Street, and started valve upgrading at the project at the turbine. For the Charlotte section, various work was done. Street sweeper was cleaning the streets, patching against a bunch of streets in the Charlotte area, laid down some milling on Camp Chaleur Road. It was done by FC LeBlanc. They graded Mink Ranch Road, McPherson and Leclerc. Helped setting up for the Salabar concert. Dismantled and cleaned up the beach area after the concert. They brought back the fencing from the concert. Fixed the guardrail on Chaleur Street. Fixed the guardrail. Fixed picnic tables. Regular garbage runs. Precast concrete pads ordered for the generator. The generator is a project that's been placed and created on Charlotte Dam Road. It's an upgrade that was necessary. It's been due for years and years and years. It's actually to be used as a backup in case we have a power failure to be able to pump water up in the Mountain Brook area. Water and wastewater performed checks at the water station, regular monthly maintenance, and fixed the catch basin on Reed Street. Fleet maintenance for August 2025. There is about 60 different things, so I don't think I'm going to read them all to you. They're pretty simple, little signal lights and stuff like that, but it looks like the gentleman was very busy. So next I'm going to present my report. For August, I discussed police presence with residents. I went to a council meeting. I met with a resident regarding the concert concerns, discussed with resident about the MB trails, met with resident on pothole repairs in Charlotte, discussed traffic issues with a resident on Tremblay Street, discussed garbage sign with the resident at Benjamin River, attended an open house, spoke to residents regarding line painting, spoke to residents regarding bushes on Victoria Street, discussed railing at Charlotte Beach with a resident, talked to residents regarding about the Charlotte Dam Road, and attend a council meeting.
That's it, Monsieur.
Now I have another item to
okay.
discuss. Okay. It was brought to my attention a few weeks ago that at the corner of Brunswick and Adelaide, there has been 4 major traffic traffic incidents at the corner of Brunswick and Adelaide. So we did a little bit of investigation to find out what it was all about and trying to come up with some sort of solution because it is a bad intersection. So I was talking to council just briefly, but I wanted to bring it up tonight to make a suggestion and ask them for their input. At the corner of Brunswick and Adelaide, and also at the corner of Victoria and Adelaide, I'm proposing to change the stop signs that are placed there right now from 24-inch to 30-inch stop signs. Doesn't sound like much, but trust me, when you spend your whole life looking at a standard 24-inch stop sign, and all of a sudden a 30-inch stop sign is placed, it jumps out at you like crazy. And so that, because I've been told that all 4 intersection not fatalities, but the intersection, the damages, everybody blew a stop sign. So we're going to try and by placing new stop signs at those 2 intersections, but at the same time also at the corner of Brunswick and Adelaide, I'm all asking the council to approve for us to place solar ped heads, red flashing ped heads to be placed at the corner of Brunswick and Adelaide. For the flashing are coming either way. So not only you're going to see a larger stop sign coming at the intersection, but you're also going to see a flashing red ped head. So these are 2 suggestions I bring to this council to try and hopefully rectify that situation because it's a very dangerous corner. As in case there's been 4 major accidents there over the last 14 months. So I bring this to the floor of the council and ask if you have any questions. It's inside your package, the stop signs and the flashing beacon lights.
Any question for Councillor Shopton?
First of all, the cost of those, do you know how much it would cost?
The
good.
stop signs,
No,
No.
the stop signs is, that's,
the flashing
The
beacons.
flashing beacons.
The flashing beacons,
yeah.
they can vary depending on the model that you want to get. They can go anywhere from $1,200 to $1,800.
okay.
So it's not a large cost, and we're only asking for two because
Yeah.
at the corner of Victoria and Brunswick, we already have a
There's
center
already- yeah.
light.
Just, we have also problems with the corner of Victoria and Brunswick.
Yeah.
And there we have a flashing light in the center. We have flashing lights on both stop signs. And that place there was more accidents there than the other corner.
Well,
So,
but
I
I'm
mean,
requesting
we
to
can,
change the stop signs. Yeah.
I agree that we should go with larger stop signs.
Yeah.
I think that visually will impact. Now, if we have all the systems up there on the Victoria corner, but
Can't put it
it doesn't,
I
There's as
asked
much
that CIO
accidents-
for that, okay, Counselor? I asked the CIO to place that. That was my first alternative. However, he informed me that DOT does not allow that anymore. The province does not allow centerline
No,
intersections signals to go there anymore.
I
So
know
we can't
that.
do that.
I know that, but on both stop signs up on the Victoria,
Yeah.
there are flashing lights already. And there's a center light there that we can't put on the other one, that's for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, let's start with the big stop signs, the big signs, and see what it gives. And if it works, well,
Yeah, that's a good starting. And,
Yeah.
to start
I-
with that.
Go ahead.
Oh, sure. I think the visual, like you said, like the visual impact of the larger one
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to start because it's when you see a sign over and over again, it's kind of maybe easier to ignore. I mean, when someone's going to ignore a stop sign, they're going to ignore a stop sign. But I think it's a good idea to have a larger one for the visual impact. I think that's a good place to start.
Yep.
Is with the are you proposing two? Like you're
I'm proposing 4 stop signs, the ones to be changed at Victoria and also the ones at Adelaide.
okay.
And then put the ped head signal light, put red lights
On
placed
Adelaide.
on Adelaide and Brunswick. I think that we need to step up. I wanted to go a center intersection light, but they're not allowed anymore.
No.
So instead of, they can't do that. There are also other things you can do. You can actually get stop signs that are illuminated that flash. But they cost more than buying a standard stop sign and then putting a flashing beacon ped, which is more visual. So I'm recommending actually as council that we go to both routes at that intersection. It's for some reason that seems to be the intersection that has the most accidents over the last 14 months. There's been 4 there already. The last one was very bad. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the gentleman blew through the stop sign. A lady hit him. She came down, went through the intersection, hit a parked car at the Heron Bay Brewing so fast and so hard that she slammed the parked car into the deck, and they actually had structural damage on the deck at the Heron Bay Brewing. That's how fast that person was going. So and that again, it was somebody blew the stop sign heading that way out of town. So I think that we should put the red flashing beacon signs on top of the stop signs there, and at least then we've done our due diligence that intersection, because we already have something up the street at Victoria.
Can I propose something? I'm just thinking. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I'm thinking science-wise, and when we're doing an experiment, because if this works and we see that this worked well, then we could do it in other areas of the town where we're seeing that people are running through stop signs. So if we change 2 variables at once, we're not going to really know which one was effective. So it might be a good idea to do just the stop signs first to see if that was effective on its own. And if we see it's effective, that's an easy fix. And then we could potentially change other stop signs to the larger ones. But if we change both the stop signs and the flashing light at the same time, we're not going to know which was effective. I guess I'm just thinking maybe change one at a time so we'll know what was the most effective change. It's just my thoughts.
Are you prepared to do a motion on that?
We're not allowed to.
And
S'il vous plaît.
Hey, no talking, please. No talking.
Bon.
Please stop because I'll have to stop the meeting. If they're still talking, I'll just have to stop the meeting. So please stay quiet. Okay. Okay.
At the end.
Today.
Okay. At the end of this. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you all, council, do you agree that we pass a motion on it? Cynthia? Okay.
Yes.
Oui.
Ken?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay.
On which part?
On
The-
just the stop sign.
The
Oh, okay.
Stop sign.
Yeah.
So, are you prepared to do a motion?
At the end.
At the end
At
of
the
all?
end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the very end.
Okay.
The clerk will take
Yeah.
it at the
Yeah.
end. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Moving on to Park and Recreation, Councillor Jean-Robert Haché.
Yeah. The director of Parks and Rec was on holidays, and we only got the report today. That's why probably you don't have a copy. I don't think. Huh? It was sent by email? Okay. So, the Inchard Park, again, we received a lot of complaints from campers regarding cars making noise and speeding on Inchard Avenue, of course. Pascal told me that he called twice, at least twice, but nothing happened. Park will close on September 12th, and the off-season until September 30th. Equipment storage, etc. will be done. The Inchard Ice Palace is closed, and painting and pre-season work is in the works. We plan to be starting on September 22nd. The ice should be ready by October 3rd. Regular activities will start on October 5th, and the Marauders are scheduled to start on the October 18th. So Parks and Recreation operations, the regular lawn maintenance is going on. Maintenance at the Charlotte Beach has been done, etc. Painting, fixing gazebo, summer splash building, etc. Weeding between cement pads at Phil's Kitchen. Basketball net was put back into the Benjamin River Park. Recoplex, the operations are normal. The second annual Restigouche Wellness Festival will take place in the Inchard Park. There's a brochure that is out, but it's not specified that it's at the Inchard Park specifically.
Yeah.
But here, in his report, he says it's in the Inchard Park. This event is in collaboration with the Recoplex Restigouche Regional Service Commission, Vitalité, and the town of Heron Bay. The full schedule will be available on Facebook, or is available.
Yep.
August 15th concert with the Salval was a very good turnout. Already planning something for next year. So the week after, we sat as a committee and said, okay, what are we going to do for next year, and try to match or even surpass what we had. We did this summer. Alors, Parc and Sharon, une fois de plus, nous avons reçu des nombreuses plaintes de la part des campeurs concernant des voitures bruyantes et des excès de vitesse sur Inchard Avenue. Les gens demandent que la ville, le conseil municipal, qu'est-ce que compte faire, mais comme on a dit tantôt, on a discuté, puis même que lui avait appelé 2 fois pour la police, puis ça n'a pas marché. Le parc fermera progressivement ses portes à partir du 12 septembre et restera ouvert hors saison jusqu'au 30. Le stockage de matériel, tables, des foyers de pique-nique, etc. Commencera la semaine du 15, c'est-à-dire cette semaine. Parc de glace Inchard, palais de glace, fermé pour aujourd'hui. Les travaux de peinture de pré-saison sont en cours. Le plan débutera le 22 septembre. La glace devrait être prête pour le 3 octobre. Et les activités devraient commencer le 5 octobre, puis les maraudeurs, eux autres, ils vont commencer à jouer le 18. Le Recoplex, ça va bien. Les opérations se déroulent normalement. Et comme je disais tantôt, le festival de mieux-être du Restigouche, qui va être là le 3 au 5 octobre. Le concert du 15 août, Salbar va attirer beaucoup de monde et de nombreux bons commentaires. Nous planifions déjà l'édition de l'année prochaine. Alors, comme vous avez raison, on va partager les profits avec tous les organismes communautaires. All the profits from the 15th of August activity will be shared with all the volunteers association who participated. So ça va être donné bientôt là. OK? J'avais juste un petit commentaire à faire au sujet des maisons historiques, des sites historiques. Just to inform you that the historical places that we have in town, we have identified 25 areas where they're considered historical sites. Ça, c'est juste dans la ville de Dalhousie. L'année prochaine, au printemps, on veut aller à Charlot, Junction, etc. pour voir s'il y a des maisons ou des sites historiques notables. So, just we have 6 more signs to put up. For example, the Rotary Park, the shipbuilding, the prison, courthouse, the Restigouche County, and there's actually a model house that we chose on Sydney Street, which is 142 Sydney Street, which we call company houses.
Yeah.
Tu sais, les maisons de compagnie. There's a typical example there that will be, let's say, identified as a historical site. Now, once all this is done, every sign will have a Q code.
QR code.
QR code.
QR
Il va avoir un code QR, so anybody who's going around town wants some information on that particular house or particular site. All they have to do is take the QR code and all the information would be there. All right. The other thing too that we are planning is the Darlington sign. Some pictures have come in, and I appreciate all the people who sent us pictures for the Darlington sign to illustrate the spring, summer, autumn, and winter. You know, that big sign which is 24 feet across and 16 feet down.
Right.
I'm still looking for pictures. Ça fait que s'il y a du monde qui a des photos, surtout pour le printemps, the most difficult time of year to have pictures is spring. There's still snow and there's no snow, and it's very difficult to have a scene that is really representative of the spring. One of them, I got quite a few nice pictures of maple sugar
camp, yeah.
sugar camp activities,
Right.
which is pretty typical of the springtime. But anyway, what I want to do is really plan this like January, February, and start putting these together with the cultural committee and have a nice mosaic of every season.
Right.
So that would be nice when you come into town.
If you'd like, Councillor Hache, I could create like an advertisement and we can put it on social media asking for more pictures
Sure.
again. So
Sure.
you could just let me know like which months, which seasons are the most. So you're saying spring is the first. Do you want
Well,
all seasons?
all
Okay.
Season,
yeah.
the more we have to choose from,
Okay.
maybe it would be difficult sometimes to eliminate some
Right.
photos because a lot of nice photos we got. But any season.
Sure.
and-
Okay, well, I'll make an
yeah.
advertisement and
Yeah.
you can give me the details on where to send and
Yeah,
then we
okay.
can share it on social media and that
Okay.
way it'll really get out there. So we can
That's
talk
it.
about that after.
Yeah.
I think we have a member on this council who's taken a few pictures in his lifetime. Maybe you can ask him.
Oh, he's already got a few in there.
Yeah.
So no.
That's a good idea, Lisa. Put it on Facebook.
Yep.
That's about it. Unless there are questions from council.
Any question pour Jean-Robert? For Councillor Hache? No? Merci.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's a little early, Councillor Ashley, but when do the banners go up for Remembrance Day in town?
Good
I didn't
question.
notice them last year.
Good question.
Yeah, they were put up.
Were they up last year?
Yes.
Yeah, they were
Okay,
up last year.
When's the
Oh, yeah,
date that
for
they
sure.
usually go up?
They're always,
They're always basically a week to 2 weeks ahead.
yeah,
You see, they wait after Halloween.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So during the month of October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jean-Robert. Personal bylaw, Councillor Pelletier.
So I have a report here from our bylaw officer. So she's with us part-time 2 times a week. She basically, what she does is she takes the files and she prioritizes them in low, medium, and high priority. So for example, a high priority would be like if there's going to be a demolition, complete it. And a low priority would be if there's an inspection that needs to take place. So there's quite a few files on the go. Just as of today, she's been out taking pictures of some properties that for unsightly premises and things like that. So the plan for the clerk and I is to sit down with our bylaw officer in the near future, hopefully either this week or next, for me to get just a little bit more information on some of the files, because just when residents ask me questions so that I can get more information to share with them. For example, there's a property on Tremblay Street that we're working with to give an update to the resident. And so essentially right now she's quite busy. There's quite a few files on the go, and for the 2 days that she is working with us, she's definitely getting a lot done. So we're going to meet in the near future for her to let me know if there's anything I can do to help move the files along, and just for her to give us an update on some of the higher priority files. Are there any specific questions on any of the files there? I most likely won't know all of the details since we haven't met this month, but I can write your questions down and get them from her when we meet.
Councillor, I have one question. You'll notice that one file hasn't been touched since May the 26th. I'll point it out to you. I just find that's a very long time. It started and then it stopped. And then there's a couple other that seem to be quite stalled. So I was hoping that maybe you can, when you meet with the bylaw officer, you can maybe bring us up to date on those 2 files, because they don't seem to be moving along. Okay?
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to go through all the files and get an update and
Thank you.
see which ones were kind of sitting idle for a while. Because, I agree. There's some of them that seem to have been idle for
there's
quite a bit.
One other question I have that's really not to deal with this, but it's something that I've noticed in this town, is fires. When a fire happens in this town, they usually are roped off because it's an unsafe site. And I noticed 2 or 3 2 fires in this town that, one, they're not roped off, it's still an unsafe site. So I would like to know, what's the time limit on when a fire is taking place? For example, Tremblay Street. I drove down Tremblay Street because we were looking at it from a resident was talking to me as I pointed out my report. And there's a fire there, and then through discussions with some of the residents, it's been there forever. And that's an unsafe site. So I would like to know, what's the time limit, and can the town intervene and say that if it's not cleaned up by a certain amount of time, then we can go in and actually clean up the site, make it safe, and then bring it back, and then charge back to the residents that own the property. This is, and there's one further coming out of town, and there's one down by my way. So I can think of 3 right now that are not marked off, they're unsafe. And let's be honest, they're an eyesore, and people don't need to drive by seeing that type of situation on a day-to-day basis. So I was wondering if you can check in with your bylaw officer and find out, one, do we rope them off, or is the insurance company does that, or do they hire somebody? 2, what is the time limit on having them cleaned up? Okay?
Sure. I believe that it falls under unsightly premises, and there is a timeline there. And then the other thing that I know is a part of it is insurance. Sometimes it has to wait until the investigation is complete. But like I said, I'm not an expert in that area at all. So I wrote down your questions, and I will I'll ask her when we meet for sure, and I'll get back to you.
I think that it's twofold. It's just that maybe we don't touch the site, but we just make sure that it's roped off and safely because of the...
Any more questions for Lisa?
Thank you.
No? Okay, we're moving on to Comité de développement communautaire et d'urbanisme, Mr. Walsh.
Yes, for the building report for September 12th. There were 8 building permits that were issued for the period, estimated at a value of $834,520.65. You'd look at PID number 501-53782, a value of $4,000. You'd look at another PID number here, 501-34. 493 for $30,000, and a construction of a home 40 by 60 with a PID number 502-59365, $600,000. So those are some of the PID number values for the Service Commission Building Report. And I also have here for the Charlotte Regional Airport Authority, for August 2025. Air traffic for the month of August 2025 is 163 arrivals and departures. Year-to-date arrival and departures is 1,410. The total number of air ambulance for the month of August was 8. The total number of air ambulance for New Brunswick is 5, and 3 for Quebec. The total air ambulances for the year is 80. New Brunswick is 60. Quebec is 19, and 1 for the IWK. It's terribly important to have our air ambulance service. It could be your mother, your father, yourself, your children. So we definitely need to keep that in place. Forest fires, water bombers were at the airport for a few occasions to fill the tanks. On Friday, the 22nd, the fire pump broke, unfortunately. They had to go to Miramichi for the rest of the day. On Saturday, the DNR was to make the necessary repairs and fill out the tanks. The planes were also in on Friday, August 29th. Salmon fishing season international flights, a total of 80 international flights were recorded this year from January to August. Van rental, a total of 46 car rentals, courtesy vehicles, were recorded as far. Summer internship, Jack Ryan was completed his internship, and the last day of work was on July 25th. Logan completed his internship on August 22nd. That's my report.
Any question for Councillor Wash?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the property report,
Right?
the building report,
Yes.
the amount is 834,520
Yes.
and 65.
Those were 8 permits of construction.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, there's one construction here, it says residential renovation, replaced one living room window for the
Yes.
existing home and property for $25.
Yeah, I seen that.
But,
But-
and if you add, I add it all up,
Right?
it comes out to the total
Yes,
for $25. There must be
Yeah.
a mistake.
I would think so.
I
We'd have
would-
to
I would
contact
change
them
my
and ask,
window.
where did they find a window for $25?
I think that's the price of the permit.
Maybe
Yeah.
the price of the permit. But anyway,
Probably, yeah.
just for sake,
Yeah.
it's just a detail, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know. Yeah.
Any more question for Councillor Wash? No? Thank you. Up to Finance and the General Governance Committee with Councillor Good.
The financial summary ending July 31st, 2025. The budget for the year to end was $780,000, and we spent $768. Protection services was $1,255,000, and we spent $1,335,000. Transportation services $2,228,000, and we spent $2,261,000. Why that was because we added a generator for the water system for the pump to pump the water. Environmental health, we spent the budget was $296 and we spent $268. Community development services, $235 and we spent $257. What the $20,000 there was the Plus Belle B the $20,000 is there, but if they don't need it, we get it back. Recreation and cultural services, 1,011,000, and we spent 1,053,000. There was $40,000 there that for the volleyballs in Charlotte. And Anne, thank you. You are amazing. The students and the children and everyone and even the adults enjoy it. And you did when you did for the Bonami, you guys had a tournament, and I heard it was amazing, and you did a very good job.
I'd also like to mention Mark Boulet. You can mention Mark Boulet as well.
Mark Boulet,
Okay.
thank you, Anne and Mark. You guys are amazing. Fiscal services, 135, and we spent 137. So that is total revenue is 77,818. And we have de quoi? Oh, j'ai pas ça passer. That's it then?
That's all.
Okay, no, that's it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Pour parler des la demande qu'on a eue pour c'est pas une résolution, mais c'est une discussion là sur
Sylvie Ducette, celle-là?
ouais, Sylvie Ducet. Ouais.
Okay, this one here is about fresh for less restigouche, pensée frais. It's bags of fruit and vegetables. Just we want to talk about it. If it's for 9 months, it's $20 a month, and we want to support a family that would need it. So it costs $180. So I was just thinking, what do you guys think about that?
It's not in there. That's
It's
why.
not
Right in there,
okay.
we're
Can't
just
vote it.
talking about it.
Yeah, we can't vote it on tonight, but if every councillor agree, we'll have it on the next public meeting.
And that's a family of
Well, the family in need that needs it.
20.
It's $20 a bag, and the lady does an amazing job.
They're not going to be able to hear you.
Sorry.
Can you?
It's
Could you
really
just
good
explain
'cause
it, Cynthia?
I
Sorry.
have I get it too, and it's amazing. Like it's $20 a bag, but there's so much food in there, and you get more than $20 worth though.
Oh, yeah.
And
But
if
what's
we
the
could help a
proposition? Is that we're going to sponsor families?
sponsor one family that
One
would be in
family.
need of.
Oh,
of it.
okay, yes, okay. Sorry, I missed the part that we were going to be that we were proposing to sponsor. I think we should sponsor more than one family. Are they only asking for one?
One or two, maybe start with one. See how it's going.
It's $20.
$20 a month.
A month.
It
But
costs
A month.
It's $180 because there's 9 months left.
It's
Oh, okay.
10 months a year.
10
One
months left.
eighty.
Let's
But
clear.
we
It's 10 months a
already
year, but they've
passed
already
the-
started. They've already done 1 month. And the
180.
last I read, they've had 5 sponsors already that have come forward towards this cause, plus also people who sign up for bags. And the children at the school put the bags together. It's great because I've been there a few times and worked with them. And they do it like clockwork. They've been doing it for years, and they're just amazing how fast they get the bags out.
Yes, and there was 1 month that I want to say that I couldn't pick it up because I was working, so I still paid for it, and they because I didn't pick it up, they donated it to a
Yeah.
family in need.
Yeah.
No,
So
that's
which is
good.
it's
Yeah.
a really good
Yeah.
So I think that
project
we,
to
well,
get involved.
personally, I think it's $200 a year, so I think our town can,
But they don't do it during the summer.
no,
I
it's
think.
10 months a year.
10
they do
It's
it.
only 10
10
months.
months.
Yeah.
And I
10
would
months.
recommend that we do
So if
minimum 3 or 4 bags, because it's only $800, and we're going to have 4 families in our town be able to use this. And trust me, there's a lot of people that are using this service, and there's a lot of people that need it. So
I'm using it too, and I must say that for $20, you get about $30 of
if not
of
even
fruit
more.
and
no?
vegetable, even more.
Yeah.
I'm not. If you're not sure of the answer, Cynthia, that's okay. Is the association going to pick the families, or do we need to pick the families?
No, they'll probably
Okay.
pick it because they'll know
Perfect.
because they're at the schools,
Okay,
so they know
perfect.
which families are going to need it.
Okay.
So if all the council are in
Sure.
agreement, we'll bring it up to the next public meeting.
can we
Yep.
pass a motion at the end of this meeting then? Because if we do, we'd have to wait another month for them to
Can we?
actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you all agree?
Yes,
Okay,
we all
There's a
agree.
motion at
Sure.
the end to, and I recommend at least
Do
3
you
or
have
4.
something else on your report? Councillor Good?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we
it's
have-
in the agenda. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's it for now.
Okay. That's it,
Yeah,
Councillor
that's
Good? Okay. So
I
if,
have something to add under this portfolio.
yes,
Am I able to
go ahead.
bring it up? So one thing that I wanted to discuss tonight was our committee meetings. I just wanted to discuss it as a council and to kind of clear the air on the status of our committee meetings. So just for the background, for the history, in case people aren't aware of how the status of that. Up until just recently, every second Monday of the month, we had our general committee meeting. And then every third Monday of the month, we would have our public meetings, like tonight. So our general committee meeting, basically, it was open to the public. So there wasn't normally many people in attendance, but we did work hard to get them live streamed. So I think people were watching from home for the committee meetings. So the way that the committee meetings worked is that essentially like tonight, and like it's 12 minutes after 8. So like one of like our gentleman said, it is taking long tonight because a lot of these things were discussions that would take place at our committee meetings. So normally at our committee meetings, like I said, that would happen every second Monday. We would each present on our portfolio. So my portfolio is personnel and bylaw. So I would have my time to speak. I would bring up my reports. We would discuss. We would share our opinions. We would, you know, it's kind of like a working session where we're, you know, like we did tonight, where we're kind of throwing ideas back and forth off of one another. The public was there. The public weren't allowed to speak at the committee meetings, but you were more than welcome to be in attendance and to listen and to take notes. And then at the public meeting the week after, you were welcome to then ask questions, as those items in most times were then on the agenda for the public meeting. So this is my second term on council. Since I've been a councillor, that's how the committee meetings always were. So recently, as most people are aware, or if you're not aware, the decision was made that we no longer have committee meetings, and in place there are meetings that have been called employee-led meetings. So the committee meeting, as we all know, if we're looking at the Local Governments Act, the committee meetings must be open to the public. It's the law. And we as a council decided that we were going to start live streaming our committee meetings and our public meetings. The committee meetings ended just recently. And like I said, it was they were in place of the committee meetings were employee-led meetings. So, and they were not open to the public because they were not committee meetings. And at those meetings, the employees, so the directors of the director of Parks and Recreation and director of Public Works would share the report that essentially was shared tonight by Councillor Hache and by Councillor Chartrand. So instead of the councillors sharing the report, the director was sharing the report, giving us the information. I will say those employee-led meetings that we have had have been productive, because it is nice to hear directly from the employees themselves, to hear the work that they're doing. If I have a question about Public Works, for example, you know, the employee is right there in front of me for me to ask the question, because obviously he's the expert in that field. Councillor Chartrand knows things about that, but clearly the director would be, you know, the first line to ask those questions to. So my concern, and that's why I want to discuss it tonight, my first concern is that we have not as a council sat down to discuss this change. So we did not vote. I don't know if this is something we had to vote on, but we have never sat down as a council and discussed whether we wanted committee meetings to end. So it was not a decision that we sat down together and discussed and debated and said, should we do this? Should we not do this? I had personal conversations, with the clerk and discussed it. And I believe that other counselors discussed it with the clerk as well. But my concern is we have never sat as a group and discussed all together, is this something that we want? Is this something that we want to do to end committee meetings? So when I had the discussion, it was, we're going to try this. We're going to see how this goes, to see how if this is going to work. And I had shared that I disagree. I don't feel that we should be canceling committee meetings. I feel that it's taking steps backwards in the transparency that I feel we are working towards. I don't want to take away from the productivity that did come from having the employees there, because it definitely was productive to have them there, but there's no reason why we can't have both. So I really, really think that, we worked hard to have meetings live streamed. People can't get up these stairs. That's a major issue. We did look into getting an elevator in this building, and that's a huge feat that I don't know if will ever happen for many reasons. So having live streaming, that was one of the reasons. So I just really feel that my two concerns are, number one, we didn't sit down as a council and discuss it and decide if that's what we wanted to do moving forward. And I truly feel that we need to bring committee meetings back, because right now it's 8:17. I don't mind. I'm a night hawk. I could be here all night. But like someone in the crowd said, let's get the show on the road here. And the thing is, during those committee meetings, it's like a work meeting. So we're able to take the time to have those discussions, to have those debates. Not that we can't have them here tonight, because I feel like this is also a productive meeting. However, the committee meeting is kind of where we did all that work. And then at the public meeting the week after is where we still kind of had any discussions that we kind of didn't finish up, and that's when we made things official, brought the motions, made the resolutions, kind of made make it official. So I personally believe that we need to bring committee meetings back, because I just don't think it's fair to change the name of the meeting and then not have to have the public involved in coming to the committee meetings. The media is another part of it too, because the media were able to come to the committee meetings, and now they're no longer able to come. I know there was some issues with that, because sometimes at the committee meetings we would discuss things, but they weren't official yet. So sometimes, maybe things weren't completely official before it was being shared, but that's an easy peasy fix. We can have a discussion about that and kind of make things clear with the media and decide what we want shared and kind of set some guidelines and some boundaries there. So at the next public meeting, I'll be making a motion that we have 10 committees per year, per calendar year. It does say that in the Local Government Act that we only need 4 meetings a year. I personally think that is absolutely not enough. I can't imagine only having 4 meetings. We don't do that. Obviously, we have way more than 4 meetings to begin with. At the next meeting, I will be making a motion to have 10 committee meetings per year. They would take place every second Monday, as they always did. They would be open to the public, as the law states, as they should be, and that they would also continue to be live streamed as they were before they end it. So like I said, we haven't had an opportunity to sit down as a council to discuss this. So I'm just curious on what everybody else's feelings are on the committee meetings and bringing them back.
Any councillor want to?
Yeah, I certainly agree with what you just said. I'd go along with that, absolutely.
Any more?
Thank you, Councillor Walsh.
Any more comment on that?
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Pelche, for doing an amazing job on that. We've had quite a few discussions over the past few weeks regarding this issue, and I wholeheartedly agree with you. Since I took office, the general committee meetings were usually attended by 2 people, sometimes 3. However, that's not the point. The point was they were available to all the residents to come and attend. We did get live stream up, as we said, to make sure, so we have people can think, because one lady mentioned to me just yesterday, she said, I would love to go to them. However, I can't get up the stairs, so I appreciate the live stream, so I thank her for that. Saying this, though, I think that because of the fact that we did this for so long, we took into consideration it was actually part of our guidelines. However, it was brought to my attention that these committee meetings were not even in our bylaws, and which I found very ironic and very disturbing. That we have certain types of meetings that we're allowed to have. One was your standard general committee, public meetings. We have special meetings. We have private meetings. But the general committee meetings are actually not written inside our bylaws. Yet, as far as I'm concerned, from what I've been told by numerous people, these have been going on for years and years and years. So I don't see there's any reason why we should change them. So I wholeheartedly agree with you that you pass a motion next week that we include this, not only the 10 for general committees and 10 for public meetings, but to place it inside our bylaws. So any future councilors or any future council will have to follow those bylaws as such. So thank you so much for doing the work, and I wholeheartedly agree on it. Thank you.
Any more comment on that subject? Is it okay?
No.
Okay, so Lisa, if I
I'll
understand, you're going to
disagree.
bring that up to the
Yeah.
next. It's going to be on the agenda to the next.
Yeah, I'll write the bylaw. I'll sit with the clerk and have her approve the wording and to make sure that it's done properly. And I do want to add, though, that like I said, I wholeheartedly want to bring the committee meetings back, whether there's 2 people or there's 500 people. But it'll be live streamed. But what I do want to add is it is extremely productive to have the directors at those employee-led meetings. But that's an easy peasy fix too, because I'd like to sit down with the clerk present or the CAO or whoever that may be to make it appropriate and kind of see what their feelings are, because it's not mandatory for them to be at a public meeting where it's live streamed. They're employees, so they didn't sign up for this. You know what I mean? Like that's not part of their job description to be part of those types of meetings. So I would propose to them that if our committee meeting is at 6:30, then they can come in at 6 o'clock, meet just with council, share the reports to us, and then we are ready to share the reports with all of you. So we're still hearing it from them. They don't have to be at the committee, at the public committee meeting. But then we still have that information. It's totally fresh. We just heard it from them a half an hour ago, and then we're prepared to share it with one another and for the public to hear it that decide to be present either in person or live streaming. So however that meeting should happen the appropriate way, I'll propose that we sit down and just have a chat and to see how they feel about it. Maybe they'll be totally comfortable with being at the committee meeting. Maybe that's something they'd be interested in. I don't know until we ask them, but it may just be even better just to meet with them beforehand. So, perfect. So I'll put that together. And does anybody else want to share their thoughts?
Nothing else? Okay.
No, me, I would like to say anything. No, I agree. I really liked how we did it before with the table in front and the people here and listening to us. I mean, I think we should really bring that back because I was comfortable doing it, and we got a lot of things done.
Yep.
And at least the people can see us debating and maybe fighting sometimes. But anyway. We don't fight really.
No.
But I think it's a really good idea to have it back. I mean, I know we can ask Pascal and Kevin if they want to join us. If they don't, that's their right to say no. But I do agree with you,
Okay,
Lisa.
so Lisa is going to be on the next meeting, and we're going to then make the motion on it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
So since we're finished with the report, then we
Oh, I actually have one more thing.
okay, go
I'm sorry. I'm long-winded tonight. I apologize. But next time it'll be at the committee meetings, hopefully, if everything goes through. I just wanted to, one thing I wanted to bring up, I asked if this was the appropriate time, and I was told that it was. I just feel like we need to, and I so far so good tonight for our public meetings. It's just there was a little bit of inconsistency with the question period, presentations. Are we live streaming during question period? Are we not? Is it being posted? Is it not? So I just feel like we need some consistency there because there's a little bit of inconsistency. So I just wanted to kind of clear that up tonight. I appreciated how you started the meeting, Mr. McIntyre, by stating that if you have a question, it's to be on the agenda items, because I think that's where it's a little bit tricky sometimes, because if we're you know, that's kind of where things are sometimes causing a little bit of issues if there's questions that are asked that are not on the agenda or whatnot. So I just think that we need to have a discussion on how do we want to do those things. Do we want to continue? Are we going to live stream the question period? Are we going to stop it? Because it's just caused a little bit of conflict with how that's going to move forward. So I think we just kind of have to make a decision, and whether or not the questions are a little bit more filled with passion and frustration and whatever the topic may be, it is what it is. Are we going to let the camera play, or are we going to cut it off? Because we can't kind of decide 1 week from another, we're going to cut it off this week, but we're not going to cut it off the next. So I just feel like we need to kind of set the rules. How are we going to do these things moving forward so that everybody is aware of how we're doing things and it's consistent?
Yeah, okay. So, so next week when we do the motion, maybe we can have another motion on that type.
Yeah.
For just the for the video part.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure, I can draft something up for that as well and show it to council and to Lillian.
Right.
Sorry, to Miss Cayuette.
That's it, Councillor?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. So since we're finished with the report, there's two motions that we can pass if you want, if the council is in agreement. The first one would be with the bigger size of stop sign. So, Councillor Chartrand.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, I would like to propose a motion to council that we apply 4 new stop signs to be placed at the intersection of Brunswick and Adelaide and Brunswick and Victoria, and do a study on them over, the next 90 days to determine if or if not they're going to have a benefit on the traffic impact, and if not, we'll be then looking at it to possibly put in 2 ped heads, red light signals, to be placed at the corner of Brunswick and Adelaide.
So it's moved by Councillor Pelletier, Councillor Chartrand. Do we have a second? Seconded by Councillor Haché. Question? Everyone in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against nay? Motion is carried. The other motion was for the $20 a month for one pensée frais there, one bag for a family in need. So Councillor Good.
So are we just doing one family, or
I think we will, I
We'll
would
start with
suggest
one?
to start with one.
start
Yeah.
with one? Okay. I do a motion that we present that we do voyons, that we furnish. Je peux même pas parler à soir. Sorry. Wow.
Cover the cost for one family.
If I start singing, they're all leaving. I propose that we do a family for 1 year for pensée frais for $20 a month for 10 months.
Okay.
$20 a month for 9 months.
It's because because September is
Is it
already
9 months
passed.
or 10
Already
months?
passed.
'Cause
It's because September is already passed, so we are only have 9 months
months.
left for this year.
so 9 months.
9 months. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so for 9 months,
$180.
$180.
So it's been moved by Councillor Good. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councillor Walsh. Question? Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against nay? Motion is carried. Okay, moving on to motion and resolution. The first one is for bylaw infraction, 350 Catherine Street. So, Councillor Pelletier.
Zoning bylaw infraction, 350 Catherine Street, authorization of legal proceedings. Considering that a trailer and other secondary buildings have been installed or erected on a property owned by, located at 350 Catherine Street in Dalhousie, New Brunswick, and bearing PID number 500953363. Considering that such development is not authorized under Part 5, Section 5.1 of the zoning bylaw of the town of Dalhousie, and is contrary to Section 108(1) of the Community Planning Act of New Brunswick. Be it resolved that the development officer for the Restigouche Regional Service Commission be and is authorized to issue issue legal proceedings under subsection 135(1) of the Community Planning Act and applicable bylaws on the territory of the municipality of Heron Bay and any other relevant legislative provisions applicable. B, the development officer for the Restigouche Regional Service Commission be and is authorized to instruct Basile Chesson, KC of the law firm of Chesson and Roy in Bathurst, New Brunswick, to take appropriate legal action to correct the violation described herein. And C, if legal proceedings filed in court be filed in the name of the municipality of Heron Bay. I so move.
It's moved by Councillor Pelletier. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Good. Question? Everybody in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, nay. Motion is carried. Acceptation de la démission du maire et prise en charge des fonctions par le maire suppléant. Councillor Walsh.
Acknowledgement and resignation of a mayor and assumption of duties by the deputy mayor. Whereas the mayor, Norman Pelletier, has submitted a written resignation effective August 18, 2025, in accordance with the Section 59 of the Local Governance Act. And whereas the resignation creates a vacancy in the office of mayor. And whereas under Section 59(2) of the Local Governance Act, no bylaw election shall be held when a vacancy occurs less. Turn the page. In less than 12 months before the next general election. Therefore, be it resolved that the council hereby acknowledges the resignation of Mayor Norman Pelletier effective August 18, 2025. Be it resolved that in the accordance with Section 60 of the Local Governance Act, the Deputy Mayor, Dennis McIntyre, shall assume the duties and responsibilities of the Mayor until the next general election or until otherwise determined by Council.
So it's been moved by Councillor Walsh. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Chartrand. Question? Everybody in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, nay. Motion is carried. Moving on to bylaw number 2025-1, Ms. Pelletier, so we can do the first one by title.
So the first reading by title, bylaw number 2225-01, a bylaw to stop up and close a portion of Holcart Street. First reading by title.
So it's been moved by Councillor Pelletier. Do we have a seconder? Second by Councillor Good. Question? Everybody in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, nay. Motion is carried. Now we can do the entirely.
Right, so now I'll have to read it in its entirety.
It's
I apologize, but legally we have to. Bylaw number 2025-01, a bylaw to stop up and close a portion of Holcart Street. Whereas Section 15(1) of the Local Governance Act, SNB 2017, Chapter 18, provides that a council may pass a bylaw for the purpose of closing a highway or part of a highway. And whereas the Council of the Town of Heron Bay deems it in the public interest to permanently close a portion of Holcart Street, as more particularly described in Schedule A attached hereto. Now, therefore, the Council of the Town of Heron Bay, in session duly assembled, enacts as follows. Number 1, title. This bylaw may be cited as the Holcart Street Closure Bylaw. Number 2, closure. This portion of Holcart Street described in Schedule A annexed hereto and forming part of this bylaw is hereby permanently closed as a public street or highway. Into effect. This bylaw comes into effect on the date of final passing thereof. And this is our first reading on September 15th, 2025, and second reading in entirety on September 15th, 2025. And our third reading will be at our next public meeting, I believe.
Yep.
Think so.
Is that right, Madam Clerk?
Yep.
Okay, so it's been moved by Councillor Pelletier. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councillor Walsh. Question? Everybody in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, nay. Motion is carried. Now we can do the second reading by title only.
second reading by title only. Bylaw number 2025-1, a bylaw to stop up and close a portion of Holcart Street, second reading by title.
So it's been moved by Councillor Pelletier. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Chartrand, question? Everybody in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against nay? Motion is carried. Okay, moving on to Erin Bay Film Festival sponsorship funding requests. Maybe Councillor Good?
The Heron Bay Film Festival sponsorship funding request. Last year we didn't give anything, but this year they're asking for 500. What does everyone? wanna
Yes,
do on that?
I would agree.
On the 500.
I agree.
$500. Yes.
So, okay, so do
Huh?
you want to say something or something?
I was gonna say it, I agree with the request.
So, Lee, do you make that
C'est-
a motion?
C'est un,
Yeah, I'll
c'est
make a
un
motion
fonds
that,
qui pourrait sortir
yeah.
du comité culturel. We have fund for that,
Okay.
Great.
so,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, it's good
So
to
we
know.
can take it out of the cultural.
So it's been moved by Councillor Wash. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Councillor Haché, question? Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against nay. Motion is carried. Le club Aller-au-Leg, Baie des Chaleurs, demande de contribution financière, c'est le club des plus belles baies. Councillor Good.
Last year in 2024 we gave 500. 2025 is okay if we do what you guys think of it, giving another 500?
Yeah, that's for the
That's for
sponsorship.
the sponsorship
Yeah.
for the
Since we have, especially this year, we have it, the reunion right
It's
here
a
in Dallas.
membership.
Yeah, that's
membership,
going to
yeah.
be
So-
definitely.
So if it's, do you want to make a motion on that effect?
I motion that we give 500 for the Alog Baie des Chaleurs. And if you guys have the opportunity, it's the 20, is it the 24th, 25th, 26th?
25th.
The 25th that they're going to be here from all the different
Yeah,
countries.
27 countries.
Yeah,
27
they're going to be right here in Erin Bay, right?
Of
in
the world.
Dalhousie,
Yeah.
at the arena. So, yeah, it's a good, very good publicity for us. So, okay, it's been moved by Councillor Good. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councillor Wash. Question? Everybody in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against nay. Motion is carried. Moving on to Aquatica Camonton, une demande de commandite pour le pli des couloirs de la piscine au centre civique de Camonton. So, Councillor Good?
We never gave anything for 23 and 24, and it's in Campbellton, so I think their city should, and then us. It's up to you guys, but
Okay, so do you want to table it?
we
Or
can
do-
table it and talk
Yeah,
about
we
it
should
later.
table
Okay.
it and have a.
So it's
Talk
been
about
moved
it.
by Councillor
Yeah.
Good that we table that demand.
Yes. Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Councillor Wash.
Yeah.
Question? Everyone in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against nay. Motion is carried. Yes, go ahead.
Are we moving it because we need more information, or?
No, we're not going to support it. We're not going to go with it.
Okay, then
But table,
you
yeah.
don't
So,
table it,
so
you just
that's
say
not tabled.
We're not, okay,
No.
we're not going
When you
to,
table, it's because you need more information.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I was-
right.
I was-
So,
You guys are just.
No, we're not.
so the mover was, are you okay with that? That we
No, I agree. I mean,
No.
don't go
we
it?
should
And the
support our
seconder, are you
town and
agreeing?
support
Uh,
them.
Okay, so.
So the motion is that we're not gonna
You just
give,
cancel the motion.
we're just gonna
Yeah.
cancel that, okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Mhm.
okay.
Okay, Community Development and Transport Wellness Festival. That's going to be held in October. Yeah. It used to be 1 day. I think this year is going to be 3 days. And it's very good. I was there last year. So it's good information for the public.
It's October 3rd to the 5th, 2025, and it's going to be down by in Sharon. Last year we gave 200. They're asking again for 200. So what does everyone want to do on that?
I'd agree.
Sure,
I would
of
agree
course,
with
yeah.
that,
200, sure.
Okay, do you want to
Yeah.
make that a motion?
Yes, I make a motion that we give 200 to the Wellness Festival for this year.
Mhm.
It's been
everyone
moved
agree?
by Councillor Good. Do we have a seconder? Councillor
Yeah.
Haché?
Yeah.
Question? Everybody in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Against? Nay? Motion is carried. Before going to adjournment, I just want to advise the public that we're going to have it's a private personal meeting after this meeting. So then we're going to adjourn, have the question, and then we're going to move to another meeting, but it's a private meeting. Okay. So adjournment, moved by
Proposé.
Councillor Haché. Question period, so please just tell me your name and when you're up there. Dites vos noms et vous posez la question. C'est concernant l'agenda. Okay.
Is the live on?
Yes.
Tell me when it's on and then I'll start.
It's on.
It was never stopped?
No.
Hi, my name is Pauline Diot. Now that our mayor has resigned, because it was mentioned a while ago, I'm asking Lisa, Ken, and Cynthia how come they're not reversing the bylaw for the mine proposal, because this is the chance where we can stop this. And now that,
It's not on the agenda, sorry. I'm
well,
sorry.
why not? It's not because it's not on the agenda. Norman resigned, right?
Yep.
As a citizen of Heron Bay, I'm allowed to ask this question because it's affecting my town. How come they had their opportunity to vote just like you did, right? Now that Norman resigned,
Miss Diot, it's not on the agenda, but you can ask that question. Come here in the office and talk with the secretary, and you can write that question down, and we'll get back to you.
but listen,
Okay?
I
Or you
emailed
can
Lilian.
even go on our
I know,
website.
but I emailed Lilian, and I do not get a response back. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask Mr. Chatran. My mother tongue is French. I'm going to ask him a French question. La réunion du 18 août 2025, j'ai demandé comment vite qu'une auto a été enregistrée sur l'enseigne de vitesse. Et j'ai eu une réponse par M. Gilles Lagacé, parce que M. Chartrand a envoyé la question à M. Lagacé. Puis M. Lagacé m'a répondu que j'avais un manque de respect pour la question comment vite qu'une auto a passé par l'insigne de vitesse. Je veux savoir ce soir comment vite qu'une auto a passé par la nouvelle insigne que tu as mis pas loin de la Goddard Street.
It's not on the agenda also, but
You're talking about stop signs all day.
Yeah,
I'm
but,
asking to get stop sign on Renfrew Street and Goddard. And another thing is, we asked to come and speak at these public meetings, and we are not allowed. Now, how are we going to talk about anything in this town of Heron Bay if we can't talk about anything?
yeah, go ahead.
So this is exactly what I proposed tonight, because this is a perfect example. So I'm kind of glad this happened, because this is what I feel we need to decide. So you have things that you want to discuss, valid questions, valid concerns. So I believe that we need to make a decision, because these are not questions that are on our agenda, but how can you still have the opportunity to voice these? So I think what we need to do is decide on how we're going to do this. So are we going to do it where a person can submit because this is more like a presentation in a way, like you're asking a question.
No.
Can I just I'm
You've been talking all day, though. We want to
but
get it over
Pauline,
this.
I'm on your side. Pauline, I'm on your side right now. I'm trying to
I
support
know,
you.
but you talked about stop
What I'm
signs
trying
all
to say is I would like to see, how can we have both? How can we have an opportunity for citizens to ask questions, but still in a respectful way and in an organized fashion? So what I'm saying is, I propose that if you have a question or a topic that you would like to discuss, perhaps it's to send an email and say, I would like on the public meeting of September 15th to discuss this issue. And then we would be able to read it. Okay, is that something that
No.
then yes.
I don't
So
agree.
we need some sort of guideline to follow, so that way you have a chance to speak and we have a chance to be able to answer.
Listen, as a
can I-
taxpayer, I should be able to come up here and speak. It's the public meeting. It's the question period. And I shouldn't have to go by the agenda, because you are following your own agenda. You're not following our agenda, Heron citizens. And another thing, the video on August 18th, I still didn't get an answer from you, Mr. Chartrand, about how fast the cars are going by, because you didn't understand my French question. How fast are the cars coming into town? What's the fastest speed limit you caught? Now, it's been up there, 9 weeks now? You must have an answer, because you just keep wanting to do surveys for stop sign and having lights, but you just don't come back with an answer. Come back with an answer, and I want an answer tonight.
Okay. First off, it wasn't on the agenda, but I can ask Mr. Chardonnay, did you get that data?
No, I did not.
Well, he did not get it. Okay.
9 weeks. 9 weeks. And with today's technology, you would think you'd get an answer quick.
Okay, that's it. You want to? There's somebody else that want to ask
Okay,
questions.
I have my 5 minutes. I still got 2 minutes left. The video on August 18 was tampered with at question period. I called Ottawa and I called Fredericton. And I was told that this is against the law. And whoever did it should be charged with tampering. Myself, I think whoever did it should be terminated. This recording was public and it's owned by the citizens of Heron Bay. On September 25th, we're having 105 visitors coming from all over the world for the Congress for the most beautiful bay of the world. You know that you've known this for a couple of years, but did nothing to beautify Heron Bay. We have unsightly premises at both entrances of Dalhousie and nothing is done. Instead of taking pictures and running to events, why don't you all make sure that this town is cleaned up? That's what you get paid for. Right now, as it stands, all of yous are overpaid, because if it wasn't for the citizens getting things done and fighting for things, none of yous would have accomplished too much except take credit for other people's work. Again, if citizens of Heron Bay wonder why we keep getting up to speak at these question period, it's because the only time we can voice our opinion is at question period, and why we are denied during the public meeting. We're always denied. I truly think that we had enough of council not doing their job at a salary of $20,000 or more. And if you can't do your job right, then you should all resign and give us hope with next mayor and council we vote in.
Okay, is there any more question?
I have several, but I won't do several. I just want to remind you, though, Mayor McIntyre, that I do send letters and emails, and I never get a reply. And if I got them, I wouldn't be here asking. And I still don't say anything. I say, well, maybe it's because, and I always try to make my tone of my letters and emails. And, I sent several. So it's just to let you know that I think if you would answer emails or letters, you wouldn't have as many questions. The other thing is, you want questions on only what's on the agenda, and it's almost impossible then to ask a question. But my question tonight is that there's several, but I'm just really want to base on is sometime we end up with problems in town because we let little things slide, and that comes to bigger things. It's like tonight, and I congratulate you on the issue of the trailer parked on private property, but that's become an issue. It's become a real issue in Dalhousie, and you don't need to have, we have laws, the Planning Commission, the provincial body has laws that deal with that, and we think we should look at other laws in other communities to deal with that. I have a park model trailer, Now there should be a definition of what a travel trailer is. If my neighbor wants to park his trailer there for the winter to store it, I have no issue with that. But when somebody hauls in a 30-foot park model trailer that has no holding tank for sewage or water or brown water, and it's dumped right in the driveway, and then the only solution is park it back, push it back into the backyard, and the back of the trailer, of course, the poor woman that has her property facing, looking at that. I have a high fence, and it's still higher than my fence. So what I'm saying is that you should really be working on this, because there's another one that was parked on Eddy Street. There's some all over town. And as soon as we give an inch there, people take a mile. So, I have an issue. I have an issue with that. I have safety issues. I have issues that people are living in that trailer. It's not my family coming home for the weekend and wants to, have a trailer in there. And I have no issues with that. In the summertime, people have their trailers, 10 trailers, and they put camp. You have extra room for your visitors. This is not, and you have water hook up there. I pay water bill for my home. And if I'm giving water to somewhere else, that you should be charged. And secondly, when people are purchasing, and there's a lot of real estate here in Dalhousie, and people purchase houses in residential areas, and we pay high taxes, and I'm not complaining, because I don't mind paying taxes and my assessment going up because someone down the street paid a big pile of money for their home. But when I'm in a residential area, and the whole lot is taken up, I've checked with the planner, and they said, I don't even know how they got that on that lot. Then there's an old car that's broke down there, there's garbage. So what I'm saying is we need to address this quickly.
But we do address that, because I don't know if we now have a bylaw officer that we didn't have before, and he sent us report, but you've been on council before, it's a long process. And no, it is. We have to follow the law.
It is, but I think what I've been told, because I made calls, and what I'm told is that the bylaw is not strong enough. And that's what I was told by the planning commission, who says it's the town, and then the town. But I understand. But what I've been told is that the bylaw is not strong enough. So, and they said, we can't police. There's lots of ways to make the bylaw stronger. There's other municipalities that have bylaws that address trailers, and you're going to find a lot of that, because we are an area that are by water, Charlotte, right down the whole Heron Bay. So eventually you're going to have that. You're going to end up with an issue where there's going to be people parking everywhere. And so I'd like to see the bylaw made stronger. I'd like someone to look at other bylaws in other communities. I read Acadie Nouvelle. There's an article not long ago where there was trailers, and they said, no, you can't park trailers on your lot. And to me, I pay water for my home, and it shouldn't be, it's not to hook up water for all day. So I just, like I said, I don't mind paying the taxes. I find we get good services, and the patching, everything, and that's, and that's, I don't want to have to leave my town, but it gets after a while, like, there's just so much going on, and so I would ask council to take a look at all these trailers and really make it, and like I said, I'm not against travel trailers, but there's a time and place for everything, and I don't think that should be permanent. I think trailers, if they're parked, travel trailers, should be licensed. They should be licensed and registered to the homeowner. Secondly, they should have most of those trailers need inspection, so if they have to bring them for inspection, they have to move it off the lot. They should have a vehicle at least that can move it. Okay. But, when I call that aiding and abetting, because this trailer that was brought there, a park model trailer, was brought to a property where it's already a bit unsightly. So,
that's a good point. Thank you. We are in the step of revising our bylaws, so Lisa's working on that, so we're going to all be working on that too. I'll take one more question, because we do have a meeting after for us.
My name is Anne Levesque-Noel. This is definitely on the agenda because it's about stop signs. Yeah. For months, for a very long time, we have a citizen here begging for stop signs to be put at the Godrich and Renfrew area. Tonight, you spoke about accidents increasing on Victoria and Adelaide. Definitely increased in the Godrich and Renfrew area over the past years, and I'll tell you why. It's not a typical situation. You have the Esso, Independent, the Circle K. You're dodging that traffic as well. There's two entrances to every area. So when you're trying to cut out through the traffic, not just watching the guys coming from Renfrew or Godrich, you have to watch the Circle K, the Esso, the Independent, because they're coming out quickly. I'm asking this council to take and make a commitment to putting 4 stop signs back where they belong at that intersection. And thank you, Pauline Diat, for trying to speak about this and getting shut down. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. So thank you everyone for coming into this meeting tonight. Yeah. Thank you for have a nice evening. We take note of it, and we're gonna look at it. But it's been looked for a lot of time, but we're gonna look at it again.
What is the difference? Why couldn't we have 4 stop signs back
It's one. I think it's a 134 there, and it's yeah, but they took it out. There was a reason. I'll have to check into that.
What happened is when Pauline asked about it, it said the council decides, not the citizens, okay? But we live in that area. And since you took away the stop signs, especially from Renfrew, it's like NASCAR. And I know you put a sign, but signs, really, a warning sign to slow down to 50. I watch people there and they're getting to the little happy face there, but they don't do it. They're not slowing down.
Can I share
So we
something?
really, it's the straight through traffic. They need to know that they have to stop before they continue on Renfrew. And we have a school zone really close to that. So, you know.
Can I share it, Anne? So what my understanding is, and I will confirm and I will ask to see it in writing. What I was told when I asked, because a lot of people have been, Pauline's been super passionate about this, and not only Pauline, other people as well. But what I was told when I asked, why can we not have the four-way stop brought back? I was told from the CAO that it's because it's Highway 134 and it's actually a provincial decision. That's what I was told.
So why did we have them before?
No, we had
Yes, they put
we
four.
had signal lights.
And they had
We
the
had
intersection had lights, and then they changed it to a four-way stop.
Yeah.
So that was the explanation I was given. So I will
maybe
ask.
check with the minister of
I'll
traffic or
check to
whatever.
see if that is in fact the reason, but that is God's honest truth. That was my understanding and the explanation that I was given.
What would be the harm? Because you know they're speeding. You put 50 kilometers now. There's a reason you put that. Because you know the speeding was increased. The amount of accidents have increased. So what is the harm of putting four stops?
To be honest, when we had asked that, excuse me,
Yeah, be careful with that mic.
what my understanding was that since it was this is what I was told. So I'm just basing on what I was told, and I'll look into that again, and I'll ask to see it in writing. But I was told that since it was a provincial decision, that we cannot now put the four-way stops. It's the province that would have to put the
Can
four-way
you
stops.
apply again and ask the
I'll find
province
out.
that it's much
Yeah.
needed to
Yeah.
reduce accidents? It's for the safety of the people here. They have increased. It's a very unique situation. We're not just dealing with straightaway traffic. It's all those stores that we have to watch the two entrances and in and out all the time. I would appreciate that. Take another look at that, please.
Yep, I'll definitely look into that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for.
Thank you. Okay, Jose.
On va-tu l'autre bord, là? On va-tu l'autre bord?
Oh my gosh, when you sent me